The Village Boy. In the serene village of Umuoma, nestled among the rolling green hills of Anambra State, Chike Okafor was born on a rainy afternoon in July 2006. The Harmattan season had just ended, and the earth was rich with the promise of new crops. Yam tubers swelling under the soil, cassava leaves glistening after showers, mango trees heavy with unripe fruit. His mother, Neka, a strong-willed woman known throughout the village for her sharp bargaining skills at the market, gave birth in their modest mud brick home, assisted by the local midwife, Mama Ease. His father, Emmanuel Okafor, a quiet but hard-working subsistence farmer, paced outside under the thatched veranda, praying to the ancestors for a healthy son. Chike was the first boy after two girls, and his arrival was celebrated with joy. Neighbors brought yams and palm wine. The village drummer played late into the night. "This one will be great," his father declared, holding the tiny bundle under the kerosene lantern's glow. "He has strong eyes." But greatness was not handed out easily in Umuoma. The Okafor family lived in a simple compound on the outskirts of the village, a cluster of mud brick rooms with a corrugated zinc roof that leaked during heavy rains. There was no electricity most days. Evenings were lit by flickering lanterns or the occasional glow from a neighbor's small generator shared during football matches. Water came from a communal borehole 2 kilometers away, carried in yellow jerrycans balanced on heads. The toilet was a pit latrine behind the house, and baths were taken with buckets under the open sky. Emmanuel farmed a small plot inherited from his father: cassava, yam, maize, and a few coconut trees. He sold surplus at the nearby Eek market, but it was never enough. Neka supplemented by processing gari and frying akara, which she sold from a wooden tray at the market square. Life was a cycle of planting, weeding, harvesting, and praying for good rains. Festivals like New Yam brought brief joy: pounded yam with nsala soup, masquerades dancing through dusty paths, but hardship was the constant companion. Chike grew up in this world. As a toddler, he toddled after his older sisters, Adana and Chinello, helping collect firewood or chase chickens back into the coop. By 5, he was fetching water, his small frame straining under the weight of half-filled cans. He learned early the value of hard work. Watching his father bend over the hoe from dawn till dusk, his mother's hands cracked from grating cassava. Tragedy struck when Chike was 10. His father fell ill suddenly. High fever, body aches, coughing blood. The village herbalist tried roots and leaves, but it was too late. Malaria, complicated by untreated typhoid, took him within a week. The burial was simple but sorrowful. Neighbors digging the grave, women wailing under the mango tree, a Catholic priest from the nearby mission saying prayers. Emmanuel was buried in the compound, as tradition demanded. Overnight, Chike became the man of the house. At 10, he took on more, helping his mother pound cassava in the giant mortar, carrying heavier loads to market, protecting his younger sister, Ojeki, born just a year before his father's death. Tears came at night, when he missed his father's stories about the old days or the way he would lift Chike onto his shoulders to pluck mangoes. But grief hardened into resolve. School became his escape and hope. Umuoma Primary School was a short walk away, block buildings with peeling paint, open windows letting in dust and noise. Chike walked there barefoot most days, uniform patched by his mother. He was brilliant from the start, topping his class in arithmetic, reciting multiplication tables flawlessly, drawing maps of Nigeria with colored chalk. Teachers called him Professor. "This boy will go far," they told his mother. He dreamed big, seeing pictures of engineers in textbooks building bridges like the Niger Bridge, skyscrapers in Lagos. "One day, I'll build roads so our village won't be cut off in rainy season," he'd tell his sisters as they lay on mats under the stars. Secondary school meant moving to Onitsha, boarding with Uncle Ease, his father's younger brother who repaired bicycles in a small shop near the main market. Onitsha was louder, trucks thundering, markets chaotic with traders shouting prices for tomatoes and second-hand clothes. Chike attended government secondary school, excelling in physics and mathematics, joining the debate club, even playing football barefoot on dusty fields. But money was always tight. School fees came late. Uniforms were hand-me-downs. Holidays back in the village meant farm work to earn his keep. University loomed, jam exams, acceptance letters, but who would pay? His mother sold more gari, took loans from the village cooperative, but it wasn't enough for engineering at UNN or Namdi Azekaibe University. By 2023, after writing SSC with distinctions in sciences, Chaik faced reality. No university. Not yet. He needed to work. To support his mother and sisters. To save for his dreams. At 17, with his mother's tearful blessing, "Go well, my son. God will protect you." He boarded a night bus to Lagos, the city of dreams, where boys from villages like his came to make it, or break. Chaik carried one Ghana must-go bag with his few clothes, a small Bible his father had given him, and a heart full of determination. He didn't know then that Lagos would test him, grind him, and eventually lift him in ways he could never imagine. But the village boy was ready. Strong hands, sharp mind, unbreakable spirit. The journey had only just begun. The move to Lagos. In the sweltering heat of June 2023, 17-year-old Chaik Okafor stood at the Onitsha Motor Park, clutching a battered Ghana must-go bag stuffed with his few possessions. 3 shirts, 2 trousers, a pair of worn sandals, his SSC certificate folded carefully in a plastic envelope, and the small Bible his late father had given him on his 10th birthday. The park was chaos, luxury buses blaring horns, touts shouting destinations. Lagos. Lagos Strait. Enter with your change. Women balancing trays of boiled ground nuts and pure water on their heads, the air thick with diesel fumes and the sharp tang of overripe plantain. His mother, Neka, had come to see him off, along with his 3 sisters. She pressed a small nylon bag into his hands, fried akara wrapped in old newspaper, a few slices of yam, and 5,000 naira folded tightly. "My son," she said, voice trembling but strong, "remember who you are. Work hard. Send something home when you can. And pray every day." Tears rolled down her cheeks as she hugged him fiercely. Adana and Chinelo cried openly. Little Ojeki clung to his legs, not understanding why her big brother was leaving. Uncle Ease, the bicycle repairer in Onitsha who had housed him during secondary school, shook his hand firmly. "Lagos is not Village O. Be sharp. Don't follow bad friends. Call when you reach." Chaik boarded a night bus, ABC Transport, one of the better ones, because his mother had insisted. He paid 8,000 naira for the ticket, money scraped together from helping neighbors during harvest. As the bus pulled out at dusk, heading toward the Niger Bridge, he watched Onitsha's lights fade, the chaotic main market, the river glistening under street lamps, and felt a mix of fear and excitement. Lagos, the city where villagers became millionaires overnight, or disappeared. The journey was long and uncomfortable, 12 hours of bumpy roads, stops at checkpoints where police demanded Christmas, passengers snoring or praying aloud. Chaik barely slept, staring out at passing towns, Asaba, Benin, or with its endless police stops. By dawn, the bus crossed the 3rd mainland bridge, and Lagos unfolded before him. Endless sprawl of buildings, lagoons shimmering in the early sun, traffic already building like a living thing. He alighted at Djibouti Terminal, overwhelmed. The noise was deafening. Horns, shouts, music from nearby bars. Touts swarmed. "Where you day go? Ojalegba? Yaba? Ajagunal." He clutched his bag tighter, remembering Uncle Ease's warnings about thieves. His destination was Ajagunal, where his older cousin, Ifani, lived. Ifani was the family success story. Left the village 10 years earlier, now worked as a security guard at a bank in Ikeja, and rented a single room in a face-me-face-you yard. Chaik took in Okada, holding tight as the rider weaved through traffic, past slums and high-rises, markets and churches, until they reached Boundary, the heart of AJ City. Ifani's place was typical, a long corridor building with 20 rooms opening onto a shared courtyard. Water from a single tap, toilet and bathroom shared, kitchen spaces marked by stones outside each door. Ifani's room was tiny, one mattress on the floor, a small stove, a standing fan that rarely worked because NEPA was unreliable. "Welcome, brother," Ifani said, grinning as he helped carry the bag. "Lagos go test you, but you go survive." Life in Ajagunal hit Chaik like a danfo at full speed. Mornings started early, 4 a.m. sometimes, to beat traffic. Ifani introduced him to survival jobs. First, loading trucks at Apapa port. They left at dawn, took multiple buses, arrived by 6 a.m. to queue with hundreds of other young men. When a truck needed offloading, bags of rice, cement, frozen fish. The foreman picked the strongest. Chike's village strength served him well. He could carry 50 kilograms bags on his head-up rickety planks. Pay was 1,000 to 1,500 naira per day, cash in hand, but only if you were picked. Some days, nothing. The work was brutal, sun beating down on the docks, dust from cement choking lungs, bosses shouting faster, faster. His hands blistered, then calloused. Backache constantly, but he endured. When port work was slow, he washed cars at a roadside stand near Alaba Market, polishing dusty Danfos and private cars for 200 to 500 naira each. Or hawked pure water in go-slow traffic on Western Avenue, running between cars with a bucket on his head, shouting, "Pure water. Chill one," until his voice hoarse. Evenings, back in the room, Ifani taught him Lego survival. Don't flash money. Don't trust too quick. Save small. They ate mama put rice or EBA with okra soup cooked on the kerosene stove. Chike sent 10,000 naira home the first month. His mother called crying with thanks. But Lagos tested him. Thieves stole his phone one night while sleeping, woke to find the window forced. He chased them barefoot through alleys, but lost them. Had to buy a small torchlight phone with savings. Rainy season brought floods. Water rose to knees in the yard, soaking everything. Mosquitoes feasted. He saw fights, area boys demanding settlement, police harassing for bribes. But he also saw hope. Church on Sundays at a nearby redeemed parish, where testimonies of breakthroughs inspired him. Football matches on dusty fields with new friends. Stories from other hustlers, some who made it, bought land, brought families to Lagos. Chike remained handsome, tall, lean-muscled from labor, smooth-skinned despite the sun, warm smile that made customers tip extra when he washed cars. Women noticed, market women teasing, "Fine boy, come marry me." Girls in church smiling shyly. But he stayed focused. No girlfriends yet. Money first, he'd tell Ifani. He saved diligently. 20,000 here, 30,000 there. Hidden in a small tin under the mattress. Sent more home. School fees for Ojeki, medicine for his mother's blood pressure. By 2025, at 19, he was stronger, sharper, more Lego savvy. Still no big break, but he refused to despair. One evening, delivering parcels for a small logistics job he'd picked up, he passed a lamppost in Victoria Island, far from Ajagunal, a world of glass buildings and expensive cars. An ad caught his eye. Massage therapists wanted. Training provided. Good pay. He stopped. Stared. Something stirred. A new path? He noted the address. The village boy in Lagos was about to take another leap. Little did he know, this leap would change everything. The unexpected opportunity. It was a sticky evening in early 2025, the kind where Lagos humidity clung to your skin like a second shirt. Chike, now 19 and hardened by 2 years of city hustle, was weaving through the upscale streets of Victoria Island on a delivery run. He had picked up a side gig with a small logistics outfit in Yaba, delivering parcels, documents, and small packages to offices and homes across the island. The pay was better than port loading. 35,000 naira monthly plus fuel allowance for the old Okada he borrowed from Ifani. It beat carrying cement bags under the sun, and the routes took him to places he had only dreamed of: glass-fronted banks, luxury apartments with security gates, restaurants where one plate of food cost more than his daily earnings. That day, he had just dropped off a package at a law firm on Adeola Odiku when he decided to take a shortcut through a quieter side street near Amadou Bello Way. The area was a mix of high-end boutiques, cafes with outdoor seating, and small wellness centers catering to Lagos's wealthy. Air-conditioned SUVs glided past. Expats in fitness were jogged along the sidewalks. The scent of grilled suya from a nearby stand mixed with expensive perfumes wafting from open car windows. As Chike slowed his Okada to navigate a speed bump, his eyes caught a faded poster plastered on a lamppost, half covered by newer ads for concerts and political campaigns. He pulled over, curious. The poster was simple but professional, white background with blue lettering. Blissful Touch SBA and Wellness Center massage therapists wanted male and female, no experience necessary, on-the-job training, provided good salary, plus tip supply in person. Plot 27, Akina Desola Street, Victoria Island. Asked for Madame Bose. Massage therapist? Chike had never considered anything like it. In the village, massage was what mothers did to babies with hot water and sheer butter, or what old men did to sore muscles after farm work. In Lagos, he knew vaguely of spas from billboards, places where rich people went to relax. But the words good salary plus tips jumped out at him. His current jobs barely covered rent contribution to Afani, food, transport, and sending money home. His mother had just called the week before. Ojeki needed new school uniforms, and the roof leaked again during the last rain. He snapped a photo of the poster with his small torchlight phone and continued his deliveries, but the idea lingered. That night, back in the cramped room in Ajigunal, he showed Afani the photo while they ate EBA and egusi soup cooked on the shared corridor stove. Massage. Ifani laughed, nearly choking on his food. You? Rubbing Oyinbo and Ani bodies? Chai, this Lagos Don turn you to something else. Chike smiled but didn't laugh. Brothers, the pay fit better. And training day. No experience needed. What did I get to lose? Ifani shrugged. True. But those places, nah women plenty. Some go one touch you back, you know. Be careful, oh. The next day, Chike took the bold step. He borrowed Ifani's best ironed shirt, a light blue long sleeve that was slightly too big, and his only pair of black trousers, polished his one good shoe until it shone. He bathed early, used the last of his roll-on deodorant, and combed his low-cut hair neatly. By 9 a.m., he was on a bus to 6, heart pounding with a mix of hope and nerves. Blissful Touch Spa was tucked in a renovated two-story building. Clean white paint, glass doors, soft instrumental music drifting out when someone entered. The reception area smelled of lavender and lemongrass, soft lighting, comfortable sofas, magazines on low tables. A young receptionist in a neat uniform greeted him. Good morning, sir. Do you have an appointment? No, ma. I see the advert for massage therapist. I come apply. She eyed him, tall, handsome, polite, clean, and smiled. Okay, Madame Bose inside. Sit small, I go call her. Madame Bose emerged minutes later. A formidable woman in her mid-50s, wrapped in a stylish Ankara buba and iro, gold jewelry glinting, her hair in an elegant updo. She carried authority like a handbag, direct gaze, no-nonsense walk. She sized Chike up from head to toe. You be the one-way come for the job? Yes, ma. Sit. She led him to a small office behind reception, desk piled with appointment books, shelves of oils and towels. She sat, motioned him to a chair. Name? Chike Okafor, ma. Age? 19. Where you from? Anambra State, ma. Umuoma Village. School? SSC, ma. Distinctions in sciences. Experience for massage? None, ma. But I strong, I learn fast. I fit do anything. She leaned back, studying him. You fine boy, you know. Customers like fine therapists. But you must be professional, oh. No nonsense. No touching where you know suppose. No phone numbers. No extra service. If I hear any complaint, you go out same day. Chike nodded vigorously. Yes, ma. I just want work hard. Why you want do this job? You know fit load truck or drive Danfo. I day do those ones before, ma. But back day pay me every night. This one, you be like better work. Clean. And pay good. Madame Bose laughed, a deep, booming sound. Back pain? Not the same back pain customers day come treat here. Okay, oh. You look strong and clean. I go train you myself. Salary 50,000 monthly to start. Plus tips, some customers day dash well. Uniform I go give. You go start tomorrow. Come 8 a.m. sharp. Chike's heart leaped. 50,000. Plus tips. It was more than double his current earnings. He knelt immediately, a village gesture of gratitude. Thank you, ma. God bless you. Madame Bose waved him up, amused. Stand up, stand up. No be me day bless, nah God. Just do good work. As he left the spa, the Lagos sun felt warmer, kinder. He called his mother immediately from a call center. Mama, I get better job. Massage therapist for big spa in Victoria Island. She shouted for joy, calling his sisters to the phone. My son, God don't do it. That night, Ifani bought 2 bottles of Star beer to celebrate. From loading truck to rubbing auntie, Lagos na cruise. Chike laughed, but inside he felt something new. Hope. Real hope. The unexpected opportunity had come, not in engineering yet, but in strong, willing hands. Tomorrow, training would begin. He had no idea that those hands would soon become his greatest asset and the key to a future far beyond village dreams. The dedicated learner. Chike's first day at Blissful Touch Spa began at 8 a.m. sharp, just as Madame Bose had instructed. He arrived even earlier, 7:30 a.m., dressed in the new uniform she had given him the day before. A crisp white polo shirt embroidered with the spa's logo in blue, black trousers, and soft black slippers that made no noise on the tiled floors. The spa was quiet then, only the receptionist and a cleaner preparing for the day. Soft instrumental music, piano and ocean waves, played from hidden speakers, and the air smelled of fresh lemongrass from the diffuser at reception. Madame Bose was already there, sipping tea from a large mug. "Good," she said, eyeing his punctuality. "You know day late. That one not good sign. Come, make we start." Training lasted 2 full weeks. The first days were theory and observation. Madame Bose sat him down in the small staff room behind the treatment area, a space with lockers, a kettle, and faded posters of human anatomy on the walls. She explained the basics: types of massages, Swedish for relaxation, deep tissue for knots, hot stone for circulation, hygiene rules, wash hands every time, fresh towels for each client, no strong body odor, and professional boundaries, no personal talk, no asking for numbers, no lingering touches. "You day work with people body," she said seriously. "Some go come with pain, some with shame, some just want sleep. Your hand not healer, not thief." Chaik nodded, absorbing every word. Then came practicals. He observed senior therapists first. There were 3 men on staff. Brother Emma, a stocky man in his 40s who had been there 10 years, Tund, slim and talkative in his mid-30s, and Kingsley, quiet and muscular, around 38. They demonstrated on volunteer staff or on each other, showing how to warm oil in palms, how to use forearms for deep pressure, how to stretch legs without straining joints. Chaik watched intently, asking questions quietly. "Why you press here first before the back? How you know if pressure too much?" The seniors laughed at his eagerness at first. This one want become doctor? But soon respected his seriousness. His first real client was a middle-aged woman with shoulder tension from office work. Madame Bose supervised from the doorway. Chaik was nervous, hands shaking slightly as he warmed the almond oil. But he remembered the steps: start light, ask feedback, focus on problem areas. The woman left relaxed, tipping him 2,000 naira, his first tip. He stared at the notes in disbelief. That night, back in Ajagunal, training didn't stop. The room he shared with Afani was cramped, but Chaik made space. He pushed the mattress aside and practiced on his cousin, kneading his back after long security shifts, trying new strokes he had seen. "Oga Ezio," Afani complained, laughing. "You want kill me?" But Chaik was relentless. He used his small torchlight phone to watch YouTube videos late into the night. Earpiece in one ear so as not to wake Afani. Channels on anatomy, how muscles connect, where trigger points hide in the shoulders, how fascia releases under steady pressure. He watched Swedish massage tutorials, Thai stretching, even reflexology for feet. He took notes in a cheap exercise book. Glutes, use elbow for deep knots. Neck, never press directly on spine. Ask client breathe deep during pain points. Data was expensive, but he bought small bundles with part of his first salary, watching videos offline during bus rides. He read whatever he could find. At a roadside bookstand in Yaba, he bought a second-hand anatomy book for 500 naira, pages yellowed, but diagrams clear. He studied it under the dim bulb in the corridor when Nipa brought light. He experimented with oils at home, mixing sheer butter with the cheap almond oil he bought from the market, testing scents like peppermint for cooling or lavender for calm. Most importantly, he made client feedback his teacher. Every session, he asked questions, politely, respectfully. "Auntie/sir, where exactly the pain day? This pressure good? Or you want harder/softer? You like long strokes or small circles here? You sleep well last night after the last one?" Clients loved it. Most therapists just worked in silence or chatted about gossip. Chaik listened. He adjusted. If someone said their lower back hurt from driving, he researched sciatica relief massage that night and tried new techniques next visit. If a client mentioned headaches, he learned about neck and scalp points. Word began to spread quietly among early clients. That new boy, Chaik. He listens. He knows what he's doing. His colleagues noticed his dedication but teased him. "Small boy, you want to turn professor of massage?" Tund would joke in the staff room. "Why you day watch all these videos? Customer no go pay you extra for PhDO." Chaik just smiled. "I like the work. When person leave happy, I happy." He wasn't doing it for show. He genuinely loved it. The science of how touch could release years of tension. The quiet gratitude in a client's eyes when pain melted away. The way some fell asleep on the table, deep, peaceful sleep they hadn't had in months. He saw massage not as rubbing bodies, but as healing. A way to help people the way he wished someone could have helped his father's pain in those final days. By the end of his very first month, Madame Bose, the spa owner, pulled him aside. Her voice was firm but held a new respect. "Chike, you learn faster than any of them. I'm already getting clients asking for you by name. Keep it up." When his salary came, it was 50,000 naira, clean. But the tips added another 30,000 that month. It was more money than he'd ever held. Without a second thought, he sent 40,000 straight home to his family. His mother's call came that evening, her voice breaking with emotion over the crackling line. "Chike, my son, God bless you. We bought new zinc for the roof. The rains won't bother us this year. Your sister, Ojeki, she has a brand new school uniform." He could hear the tears in her voice as she added, "We pray for you every single night." Chike's own eyes filled. He wasn't just surviving in Lagos anymore. The dedicated learner was beginning to thrive. And he didn't know it yet, but the best was yet to come. Because very soon, one particular client would walk through those spa doors, and everything was about to change. It was a quiet Thursday afternoon in late March 2025. The kind of day where the Lagos heat pressed down on the city like a heavy, humid blanket. The spa was in its usual midweek lull, with only a couple of clients booked before the evening rush. Chike had just finished meticulously cleaning his treatment room. He folded fresh white towels into perfect, neat stacks, wiped down the massage table with antiseptic, and arranged the little bottles of almond and coconut oil on the shelf. The room smelled of calming lavender, a trick he'd picked up after watching a video on aromatherapy benefits. Suddenly, the receptionist, Chioma, poked her head in. "Chike, new client for you. Her name is Ani Ngozi. It's her first time here. Madame Bose says to handle her well." Chike nodded, smoothing down his uniform, a sense of calm professionalism settling over him. "No problem." He stepped out to greet her. Auntie Ngozi Okonkwo was waiting in the reception lounge, and the way she sat on the sofa made it look more like a throne. She was a woman in her mid-60s, elegantly dressed in a flowing emerald green buba and iro made from expensive lace. Gold jewelry glinted on her neck, her wrists, and her ears. Her gele was tied perfectly, high and proud. She held a designer handbag and was scrolling on the latest iPhone with perfectly manicured fingers. At first glance, her face was stern, sharp cheekbones, full lips pressed together in a look of mild impatience. But her eyes held the deep weariness of someone carrying invisible burdens. When Chike approached, she looked him up and down, raising one perfectly sculpted eyebrow. "You are the therapist?" she asked. Her voice was deep and commanding, with that unmistakable Lagos Ikoyi accent, honed from years in boardrooms and high society. "Yes, Auntie. Good afternoon. My name is Chike. Welcome to Blissful Touch." He offered a warm, respectful smile. She stood slowly, leaning just slightly on a stylish walking stick with a gold handle. "Good afternoon. I hope you know what you are doing, because my back has been killing me since morning. And my knees, Chai? This arthritis doesn't let a person rest." Chike's smile didn't falter. "I will try my best, Ani. Please, come this way." He led her to the treatment room, holding the door open for her, and explained softly, "You can change into the robe we provide, or keep your clothes on if you prefer. We will use a towel to cover you at all times. When you are ready, please lie face down on the table. I will knock before I come back in." She gave a slight nod, a flicker of approval in her eyes. "At least you have manners." While she prepared, Chike stood outside the door, warming the massage oil in his palms. He ran through his mental checklist, recalling the techniques he'd researched for arthritis. Gentle, long strokes to warm the tissues, light kneading on the joints, and always avoiding direct pressure on inflamed areas. He also remembered the slow stretches he'd learned about. He knocked gently on the door. "Auntie, are you ready?" "Yes, come in," her voice replied. She was lying face down, modestly draped with a towel. Chike dimmed the lights just a little, started the soft instrumental music he knew helped clients relax, and then he began. From the very first touch, he was completely attentive. "Auntie, is this oil warm enough? I used almond oil with a little lavender. It helps with calming." "Yes, it's fine," she said, her voice muffled by the face cradle. He started lightly on her shoulders, long gliding strokes to spread the oil. Auntie, please tell me where the pain day strongest today. My lower back, she said, voice muffled in the face cradle. And the knees. And this my right shoulder. E day catch me since I carry my grandson last week. Chike nodded, even though she couldn't see. Okay, ma. I go start soft. Then you tell me if you want harder. He worked methodically. First, warming the entire back with effleurage, long, flowing strokes from lower back to shoulders. Then, gentle kneading on the lumbar region where she had indicated pain. He used his thumbs carefully around the spine, avoiding bone, focusing on muscle. When he reached her shoulders, he asked, "Hear the catch day?" "Yes." "There." He applied slow, circular friction with his fingertips, then broader pressure with his palms. Every few minutes, he checked. "Pressure okay, Ani? You want me focus more on the left side?" "Breathe deep when I press here. Ego help release." Auntie Ngozi, who had been tense at first, began to relax. Minute by minute, her breathing deepened. Her body softened under his hands. He moved to her legs, careful around the knees, using light stretching he had learned from a video on joint mobility for seniors. He finished with gentle tapping and long, soothing strokes, then covered her with a warm towel to let the heat settle. "Take your time, Auntie," he said softly. "When you're ready, sit up slow." 5 minutes later, she sat up, swinging her legs off the table with surprising ease. She rolled her shoulders experimentally, rotated her neck, stood up. Her eyes widened. "Jesus, boy, what didn't you do?" "My back, light. My knees no day shout again." Chike smiled humbly. "Na God, Auntie. And small technique. How the sleep day come last night?" She laughed, a rich, surprised sound. "Sleep? I no sleep well for months. Pain day wake me 2 a.m. every time. But today, I fit sleep like baby tonight." She dressed, then at the reception, tipped him 10,000 naira, his biggest tip yet. Next week Thursday, same time, she told Chioma firmly. "And I want this same boy Chike." Madame Bose overheard and raised an eyebrow, but said nothing. That night, Auntie Ngozi went home to her mansion in Ikoyi. She ate light dinner, pounded yam and vegetable soup prepared by her cook, watched a little African magic, then went to bed at 10 p.m. and slept deeply, undisturbed. No pain waking her, no tossing, no paracetamol at 3 a.m. She woke at 6 a.m. refreshed, almost shocked. For the first time in years, she felt rested. The relief was addictive. The following Thursday, she returned, and specifically requested Chike. If he was busy, she waited, sipping the free herbal tea, chatting with other clients, reading magazines. She began booking twice a week, Thursdays and Sundays. Each time, Chike greeted her with the same respect, asked about her week, adjusted based on new complaints, sometimes hips from golf, sometimes neck from reading in bed. Each time, she left lighter, tipping generously, 10,000, then 15,000 when the relief was especially profound. Word reached Madame Bose, who this Auntie Ngozi day always asked for the new boy. Chioma explained. She say not only Chike no wedney day do. Madame Bose observed once from the doorway, saw Chike's focused, caring technique, heard Auntie Ngozi sigh in relief. She nodded to herself. The boy was special. Auntie Ngozi became Chike's first truly loyal client, the one who would change everything. Because soon, she would start talking to her friends at the golf club, at church, at book club, at widow's fellowship, about the young masseur with magic hands, and the gift of pain-free, blissful sleep. The first loyal client had arrived, and with her, the beginning of Chike's rise. The waiting game. Auntie Ngozi's second visit came exactly 1 week after the first, on another Thursday afternoon. She arrived at Blissful Touch Spa precisely at 2 p.m., her driver parking the gleaming black Mercedes G-Wagon outside, while she stepped out with the confidence of someone who owned time itself. She wore a different outfit this time, rich purple osso oak with intricate gold embroidery, matching gelly towering elegantly, and her gold walking stick tapping lightly on the tiled entrance as she walked in. Chioma, the receptionist, greeted her warmly. "Auntie, welcome. Your usual room ready." Auntie Ngozi nodded, but her eyes scanned the lounge. "That boy Chike, he day?" "Yes, ma. He just finished one client. He go come now." She settled into the plush sofa, accepted a cup of herbal tea, ginger and lemongrass, her new favorite, and opened her iPad to scroll through news. but every few minutes, her eyes flicked toward the treatment corridor. When Chike appeared, wiping his hands on a small towel, uniform spotless, she smiled. A genuine, wide smile that softened her usually stern features. "My boy, come, come. I don't wait for you." Chike bowed slightly, respectful as always. "Good afternoon, Auntie. Sorry if you wait small. How body today?" She stood, handing her bag to the driver who had followed discreetly. "Better since last week, but the pain don day creep back small. This Lego stress no day let person rest. Come, make we go inside." In the treatment room, the ritual began. Chike helped her settle on the table, dimmed the lights, started the soft music she now requested. That piano one, no be the ocean sound today. He warmed the oil, coconut this time, because she had mentioned last week that almonds sometimes felt too light. "Auntie, you sleep well this week." She laughed as she lay face down. "Ah, my son, that night after your massage, I sleep from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. straight. No wake up. My housegirl thinks say I die SEF. Since then, better, but yesterday night the back pain wake me again 3 a.m. Nah why I rush come today." Chike nodded seriously. "Okay, ma. We go focus more on lower back today. I learned one new stretch for sciatica. Day help open the joint small." He began, slow, deliberate, always checking. "This pressure good? Small harder there. Yes, like that. You breathe deep when I hold here." Halfway through, she sighed deeply. "Chike, where you learn all this thing? You be small boy, but your hand get sense pass all these old therapists I don try before." He smiled modestly. "I just like the work, Auntie. I watch video, read book, ask client wedding day work. Your body teach me." By the end, she sat up slowly, rolling her shoulders, bending her knees experimentally. "Magic," she declared. "Pure magic. Book me for Sunday again. Same time." And so the pattern began. Auntie Ngozi started coming twice weekly, Thursdays and Sundays without fail. She adjusted her entire schedule around it. Golf club meetings moved. Church women's fellowship rescheduled. Even visits from her children in Canada were timed after my massage. If Chike was free, perfect. But if he was with another client? She waited. Patiently. Gracefully. Never complaining. She would sit in the reception lounge for up to an hour, sipping tea, chatting with Chioma about Lagos politics or the latest Nollywood gossip, flipping through magazines, or calling her friends on speakerphone. "Chioma, tell that boy make he no rusho. I fit wait." "No problem." Madame Bose noticed early. One Thursday, Auntie Ngozi arrived to find Chike in a session that was running long, an executive with severe back knots who had requested extra time. Madame Bose approached her personally. "Auntie, welcome. Chike go soon finish, but if you no one wait, I fit give you brother Emma. He day free now." "Very good." Auntie Ngozi looked up from her tea, polite but firm. "No, thank you, madam. I go wait for Chike. That other one I don try before. He too rough. My bones no fit take him again. This boy no wedney day do." Madame Bose smiled, hiding her surprise. "Okay, ma. As you want." She retreated to her office, watching through the glass partition as the wealthy woman waited contentedly. Word spread among staff. "That big anyway day drive G-Wagon. She only want the small boy. If Chike no day, she no go do massage." The other therapists grumbled in the break room. "Why she no fit take any of us? We day here before him. Not because he fine boy ABI." But Chike remained humble. When Auntie Ngozi finally entered the room, he always apologized. "Auntie, sorry for the wait." She waved it off. "No worry, my son. Good thing no day rush. Your hand worth waiting for." Tips grew fatter. 15,000 became standard. Sometimes 20,000 if the relief was especially profound. "For your data to watch more video," she'd joke. She began bringing small gifts. A pack of new towels for the spa, imported sheer butter from her last trip to London, even a wristwatch for Chike, so you no go late for my appointment. Madame Bose watched the bookings. Auntie Ngozi's slots were sacred, and slowly, other clients began noticing. One day, a woman in her late 50s waiting beside Auntie Ngozi asked, "This Chike people day talk about. Not true say he good like that?" Auntie Ngozi smiled proudly, like a mother hen. "My sister, if I tell you, you go think I day lie. My arthritis way day kill me for years. This boy don't tame him. And sleep, I sleep like baby now. Try him. You no go regret." The woman booked Chike for her next visit. The waiting game had become a ritual, a sign of loyalty, a testament to the young therapist's growing gift. Madame Bose saw the potential, but she didn't yet understand the full extent. Because Auntie Ngozi wasn't just waiting for massages. She was waiting for healing, for relief, for the deep, pain-free sleep that had eluded her for years. And in Chaik's careful, researched, attentive hands, she had found it. The first loyal client wasn't just loyal. She was about to become his greatest advocate. And soon, her voice would carry his name far beyond the walls of Blissful Touch. Word of mouth. Auntie Ngozi Okonkwo was not a woman who kept good things to herself. In the weeks following her third or fourth session with Chaik, by now, she had lost count. She began talking. It started innocently enough. At the Ikoyi Club 1938, where she played golf every Tuesday and Saturday with a group of retired women executives, widows, and society matrons. The ladies gathered on the terrace after 9 holes, sipping chilled Chapman or fresh coconut water, gossiping about grandchildren, church politics, and the latest scandals in high society. One Tuesday in April 2025, after a particularly grueling game where her arthritis had flared from the humid morning air, Auntie Ngozi arrived late to the terrace, glowing, walking without her usual slight limp, smiling broadly. The ladies noticed immediately. "Ngozi, what happened? You days shine like new 20 naira coin," said Auntie Felicia, a 62-year-old retired school principal with chronic neck pain from decades of bending over students' exercise books. Auntie Stella, 65, former textile trader whose hips ached from years of standing in markets, leaned forward. "True, oh. And you know they use your stick today? Wouldn't be the secret." Auntie Ngozi settled into her chair with a dramatic sigh of satisfaction. "My sisters, if I tell Una no go believe. Now one small boy for one spa and 6. The table erupted in teasing laughter. "Small boy? Ngozi, you don't start again, oh. No be that kind thing," she protested, laughing. "Na massage therapist. But this one, chai, you get hand way God bless specially. My arthritis way day kill me. Gone. My back pain. Vanished. And sleep. I day sleep like dead person now. No wake up 2 a.m. again." She told them everything. How she found Blissful Touch by chance after a friend mentioned it. How the other therapists were ordinary. How this young boy, Chaik, asked questions, listened, adjusted pressure, used techniques she had never felt before. How she waited for him if he was busy. How she now booked twice a week. The ladies listened, half skeptical, half intrigued. Auntie Felicia rubbed her neck unconsciously. "You sure? Because this my neck day fire me every night. I day take tramadol before sleep sef. Try am," Auntie Ngozi urged. "Ask for Chaik. Tell them Ngozi Okonkwo send you. You go thank me later." Word of mouth in Lagos elite circles travels faster than NEPA light during a storm. By the next week, Auntie Felicia booked an appointment. She arrived skeptical, stiff-necked, moving carefully. Chaik greeted her politely. "Good afternoon, Auntie. Auntie Ngozi send you." She nodded, surprised. "Yes-o. She say you be magician." He smiled humbly. "No magician, ma. Just good massage. Please tell me where the pain day." She described her neck, shoulders, headaches that woke her. He listened, asked follow-up questions. "Does the pain shoot to your arm? You sit long for desk before?" Then worked with the same care. Warm oil, gentle traction on the neck, deep but controlled pressure on trapezius knots, finishing with scalp massage for tension headaches. She left the spa dazed. "Ngozi no lie," she told Chioma at reception. "Book me next week." Same boy. And that night, she slept without painkillers for the first time in years. Then came Auntie Stella. Her hips ached from decades carrying heavy loads of wrappers in Idamoto Market. She arrived with her daughter's help, walking slowly. Chaik focused on glutes, lower back, gentle hip rotations. She left walking straighter, laughing. "This boy not angel." Soon, the church women's group at St. Dominic's Catholic Church in Ikoyi heard. Auntie Ngozi stood during testimony time one Sunday. "I must thank God for sending me to one spa. One young boy there. Chaik, God day use him heal old women like us. My arthritis done quiet." The widow's fellowship buzzed. Bookings poured in. Auntie Grace, 68, with sciatica. Auntie Patricia, 64, with frozen shoulder. Even Uncle Emeka, Auntie Ngozi's older brother, 68, retired customs officer with golf-related shoulder pain, came reluctantly after her insistence. "Man no suppose they do massage," he grumbled. But after Chaik's session, he admitted, "That boy get power." All requested Chike specifically. If he was busy, they waited, just like Ani Ngozi. The reception lounge became a social hub on Thursdays and Sundays. Elegant older women in fine lace and geli, sipping tea, chatting about grandchildren and politics, comparing notes on their pains and how that fine boy Chike had eased them. Madame Bose watched in amazement. Bookings doubled, then tripled. Most slots were for Chike. She overheard conversations. This boy no day rush. He ask you question, listen, then work like he know your body pass you. After his massage, I sleep 8 hours straight. No pain, no drug. Everyone deserve good sleep. Oh, this boy day give us that gift. Madame Bose pulled Chike aside one evening. Wouldn't you day do way all these big aunties day follow you like this? He shrugged humbly. I just try my best, ma. Ask them wedding day pain. Do small research for house. Adjust every time. She shook her head, smiling. Keep it up. You day bring money come this spa. The colleagues grumbled more. But clients didn't care. Word of mouth had done its work. From one loyal client, Ani Ngozi, had grown a network. Older women, and some men, seeking not luxury, but relief. From chronic pains that medicine couldn't fully silence. From nights stolen by aches and worries. They came for healing. And in Chike's young, dedicated hands, they found it. The spa was changing. And Chike's name was becoming known. Not as a fine boy, but as the one who gave the gift everyone craved. The gift of pain-free, restorative sleep. Word of mouth had spoken, and Lagos was listening. Jealous colleagues. As the weeks turned into months, the atmosphere in the staff room at Blissful Touch Spa began to shift. What started as lighthearted teasing about the small boy, who was still learning the ropes, gradually soured into something sharper, more pointed. Chike's rising popularity with the older clients, especially the wealthy, influential women like Ani Ngozi and her expanding circle, could no longer be ignored. The 3 senior therapists, Brother Emma, Tund, and Kingsley, had been at the spa for years. They were comfortable in their routines, steady clients, predictable tips, no need to hustle for bookings. Brother Emma, the oldest at 45, prided himself on his strength. He could dig deep into knots with his powerful forearms, the kind of pressure that made construction workers and gym enthusiasts groan in relief. Tund, 35 and always chatting, kept sessions lively with gossip and jokes, making female clients laugh and book him for the entertainment as much as the massage. Kingsley, 38 and quiet, had a loyal following among younger professionals who wanted quick, no-nonsense deep tissue work. At first, when Auntie Ngozi started requesting Chike exclusively, they chuckled. Nah, the fine boy face, Tund said one afternoon in the break room, sipping Gary and groundnut from a small nylon. These old aunties like fresh meat. Egos soon pass. Brother Emma nodded, chewing cola nut. True. When she see say nah still the same massage, she go come back to us. Kingsley just grunted, scrolling his phone. But weeks passed. Then months. And the requests didn't stop. Auntie Ngozi came twice a week, waiting if necessary. Then Auntie Felicia, 3 times a month. Auntie Stella, weekly. More names joined. Auntie Patricia, Auntie Grace, Auntie Bose, no relation to the owner. Even some uncles like Uncle Emeka and Uncle Chikwudi, a retired banker with chronic shoulder pain. All asked for Chike, by name. If he was busy, they waited patiently in the lounge, sipping tea, chatting among themselves like a private club. Some brought small gifts for him, packs of biscuits, bottles of malt, even envelopes with transport money. The reception book filled with Chike-only notes. Madame Bose's takings increased noticeably, but the seniors' bookings dropped. Clients who used to request them now tried Chike after hearing the rave reviews. And many didn't go back. The break room conversations turned bitter. One slow Wednesday, after Tund finished a session with a regular who had switched back to him only because Chike was fully booked, he stormed in. See this thing? That small boy Don collect all the big fish. Even my Madame Patricia way day come for me 5 years. Now not Chike she want. Brother Emma spat cola juice into a cup. Nah which? Weddin' he day do way we no day do? I get strength pass him 10 times. My hand fit break, not way him own no fit touch. Kingsley, usually silent, spoke up. I hear some Annie's day talk say he fine, he get 6-pack. Nah that one day carry them come. Tund laughed darkly. Or maybe he day give extra service under the towel. You know these young boys, blood day hot. They looked at each other, nodding suspiciously. No one said it aloud to Madame Bose, but the rumors started. In whispers. That Chike, he too smooth with the women. While only old aunties day follow am. Something day fishy. Madam need to watch am well. Chike heard the whispers. He felt the cold stares in the corridor. When he entered the break room, conversations stopped abruptly. Once, he overheard Tund in the changing area. If Nami get that kind face, I for Don get plenty girlfriend. But this one day use am for work, sharp boy. Chike never responded. He kept his head down, focused on his clients. Asked his questions. Researched at night. Adjusted techniques. Smiled politely at his colleagues. Thank you, bros. He'd say when passing tools or oil. But inside, it hurt a little. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He wasn't flirting. He wasn't giving extras. He was just good at the job. Better because he cared. Because he studied. Because he listened. One evening, after a long day where he had handled 6 clients back to back, all older women and one uncle, all leaving with sighs of relief and generous tips, Madame Bose called him to her office. Chike, sit. He sat nervously. She leaned forward. I hear some talk among the boys. Say you day do something funny with the aunties. Say now why they day follow you. Chike's heart sank. No, ma. I no day do anything. I just massage normal. Ask them questions, do wedding they like. Nothing more. Madame Bose studied him for a long moment. Then she smiled. I know. I don't watch you. You day professional pass all of them. No nonsense. The aunties like you because you good, simple. Your hand get healing. Them other ones day jealous because their pocket day suffer. She paused. I don't increase your salary again to 80,000 this month. And I go give you more slots. Don't mind them. Keep doing wedding you day do. Chike knelt in gratitude. Thank you, ma. God bless you. As he left, he felt vindicated. But the jealousy didn't stop. It simmered. Tun started taking longer breaks when Chike's clients waited, hoping they'd get impatient and take him instead. Brother Emma boasted louder about his strong hand to new clients. Kingsley spread small rumors to newer staff. But it backfired. The more they complained, the more clients defended Chike. Auntie Ngozi herself confronted Madame Bose one day. I hear say some therapists they talk rubbish about my boy Chike. Tell them, make they face their work. If they no happy, make they go find another job. Not Chike I come for. No be them. Madame Bose had to call a staff meeting. Anybody way no happy with how things day go? Door day open. But no gossip. No bad mouth. We be professional here. The jealousy quieted, but didn't vanish. Chike rose above it. Focused on his growing list of loyal clients. On the thank yous. On the tips that now allowed him to rent his own small room in Suralire, away from Afani's place. On sending more money home. Enough for his mother to start a small provision shop in the village. The other therapists were watching from the sidelines, their eyes filled with jealousy they didn't even try to hide. They just couldn't wrap their heads around it. In the break room, whispers floated around that Chike's sudden success was all about luck. Or maybe it was his boyish charm. Or perhaps something extra. But they were totally off base. It wasn't luck. It wasn't looks. It was all about pure dedication. Chike put in hours of research after long shifts. He genuinely cared for the people on his table. In a spa where many hands had become routine, Chike's touch was something special. And all of Lagos was starting to take notice. That jealousy? Just the price of standing out. For Chike, it was a price he was more than willing to pay because the rewards, both in his bank account and in the grateful smiles of his clients, were worth so much more. By mid-2025, just 6 months after Chike's very first session with the influential Auntie Ngozi, the change at Blissful Touch Spa was crystal clear. What started as a quiet preference from one client had turned into a full-blown phenomenon. The appointment book told the whole story. Once, the names of the 4 therapists were scattered evenly across the pages. Now, it looked like a tribute to Chike. Page after page, slot after slot. Chike, Auntie Ngozi. Chike, Auntie Felicia. Chike, Uncle Emeka. Chike, new client, referred by Auntie Stella. Thursdays and Sundays transformed the spa lounge into a scene straight out of a high society club. Elegant older women, draped in flowing lace gowns and stunning Gelly head wraps, arrived in their chauffeured SUVs. They greeted each other with warm hugs and kisses on both cheeks, their expensive perfumes mingling in the air. If Chike was running a few minutes behind, nobody batted an eye. They would wait patiently, sipping herbal tea, sharing photos of their grandkids, and chatting about everything from the latest church bazaar to the ever-rising price of tomatoes. The atmosphere was a gentle hum of conversation, punctuated by bursts of laughter. Madame Bose, the owner, watched it all unfold with a mix of amusement and deep satisfaction. Business had never been this good. Daily earnings had doubled, sometimes even tripled. She started upgrading everything. The cheap diffuser oils were swapped out for fancy essential oil blends. She ordered plush new robes for the clients. She even renovated the lounge, adding comfy sofas and a small, trickling fountain for what she called ambience. And it was all thanks to one young therapist. Chike's life became a well-choreographed routine. He'd show up at the spa at 7:45 in the morning, a full hour before his first appointment. He insisted on prepping the rooms himself, laying out fresh linens, warming the oils, and picking specific music playlists based on his clients' preferences. Auntie Ngozi liked soft piano music. Auntie Felicia preferred gospel instrumentals. Uncle Chikwudi wanted classic highlife music, but played softly. His sessions ran back-to-back, from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and often later if a client was desperate. He saw 6 to 8 clients a day. Most were older women in their 60s and 70s, but the clientele was expanding. More men were coming in, retired civil servants, bankers, and even a former military officer with lingering pain from old war injuries. Each session was personalized. In a small notebook he kept hidden in his locker, he jotted down detailed notes on every regular client. Auntie Ngozi, focus on the lower back and knees. Use lighter pressure on her right hip, especially after she's been playing golf. She loves coconut oil mixed with lavender. Auntie Felicia needs deep work on her neck and trapezius muscles. Avoid sudden traction movements. Always finish with a scalp massage to help with her migraines. Uncle Emeka prefers firm pressure on his shoulders. Incorporate some golf-specific stretches. Talk about football if he seems to be in a chatty mood. At night, even when he was exhausted, he'd go home and research any new complaints his clients mentioned. When Auntie Grace talked about a tingling feeling in her fingers, he stayed up late studying carpal tunnel syndrome and learned new wrist rotation techniques to help her out. When Uncle Chikwudi complained about constant heaviness in his legs, he dove into videos and articles on lymphatic drainage. The clients noticed this extraordinary level of detail, and they raved about it. In the lounge after their sessions, they compared notes like members of an exclusive club. "My sister, this boy is a gift from God," one would say. Another would chime in, "I don't even take my pain medicine anymore since I started coming here." The most common praise was about sleep. I sleep for 8 hours straight now. No dreams, no waking up, just pure rest. Everyone deserves this kind of sleep. The common thread running through all these conversations was clear. Most of these older clients weren't coming for luxury or simple pampering. They were coming for relief. Relief from the chronic, nagging pain of arthritis, sciatica, old injuries, and the tension built up from decades of hard work and stress. It was the kind of pain that kept them tossing and turning at night. The kind that medication could dull but never truly erase. Chike's massages didn't just relax them, they healed them. It was temporary, yes, but the effect was profound. Under his skilled hands, muscles that had been knotted for years finally let go. Stiff joints loosened. Circulation improved. And the ultimate result of all this? Deep, restorative sleep. The kind that refreshes not just the body, but the spirit. The kind of sleep that everyone, especially the elderly, craved so desperately. Madame Bose wasn't just a good spa owner. She was a sharp businesswoman. She recognized she was sitting on a gold mine. One evening in July, after counting the day's impressive earnings, she called Chike into her office. "Sit down, my boy," she said, her tone warm. He sat, feeling as nervous as he always did around her. "Do you see what you've done for this place?" she began. "Since you came here, money is flowing like a river. All these big aunties and uncles. It's you who brought them here. Even new clients who don't know anyone come just because they heard your name from a friend." Chike smiled shyly. "It's God, Ma, and the training you gave me." She waved his comment away. "Training is training. But you have something extra. You have heart. And you have a brain. You're studying this thing like it's a university course." She paused, letting her words sink in. "I've increased your salary again. From this month, you'll be on 120,000 naira. Plus, all your tips are yours to keep. And I'm giving you the best room, the big one with the window. You deserve it." Chike's eyes widened in disbelief. 120,000 naira? With his tips averaging another 100,000 to 150,000 every month, his income was skyrocketing. He was overwhelmed with gratitude and immediately knelt down on the floor. "Madam, God bless you plenty. I won't disappoint you." She laughed, a full, hearty sound, and pulled him up. "Stand up, stand up. Just keep making these Annies happy. If you're happy, I'm happy. If they're happy, the money will keep coming." News of the raise spread through the spa like wildfire, fanning the flames of jealousy even hotter. In the break room, the whispers grew louder. Tund muttered to the others, "Madam has turned him into a prince. 120K for a small boy who just came yesterday." Brother Emma, one of the older therapists, spat on the floor in disgust. "It's because he collects all the big tips. We're suffering here." Kingsley, another therapist, added darkly, "Something isn't right. How can one person get all the loyal clients?" But their complaints fell on deaf ears. The clients defended Chaik fiercely. One afternoon, when Tun tried to take one of Chaik's booked slots while he was on a short break, Auntie Ngozi herself stepped in. "No, I booked Chaik. If he's not ready, I'll wait. You people should stop this nonsense." And Madame Bose backed Chaik completely, shutting down any attempts to undermine him. Through it all, Chaik remained humble and focused. He used his extra money wisely. He rented his own small, self-contained room in Suralire, giving him privacy and a quiet place to study. He just called it work. Hard work. Heart work. The kind that was lifting him and his family higher than he had ever dreamed. The rising star was shining brighter, and Lagos was basking in his light. Tips and gratitude. The tips started as small gestures, polite tokens of appreciation that made Chaik's eyes widen the first few times. A crisp 2,000 naira note folded neatly and pressed into his palm with a quiet, "God bless you, my son." A 5,000 naira envelope slipped discreetly at reception with instructions to give it to that fine boy Chaik. But as the months rolled on and his reputation solidified, the tips grew, both in frequency and in amount, until they became a steady river of gratitude that changed his life in ways he could never have imagined. It was Auntie Ngozi who set the standard. After her 10th or 11th session, Chaik had stopped counting. She finished her usual routine, sitting up slowly, rolling her shoulders, bending her knees, and declaring with dramatic flair, "Resurrection. This body dawn rise again." She dressed. Then at the reception, instead of the usual 10,000 or 15,000, she pulled out a white envelope thick with notes. "Chioma, give this to Chaik. Tell him na for his data and book way he day use learn more." Inside was 50,000 naira. Chaik received it in the staff room, hands trembling slightly. "Auntie say thank you for the good sleep," Chioma relayed with a grin. He knelt right there on the tiled floor. God bless her plenty. From then on, her tips became legendary among the staff. 20,000 became normal. 30,000 when the pain relief was especially profound. For your transport, because Lagos traffic day kill person. Once, after a session where he incorporated a new technique he had researched for her hip bursitis, she gave him 100,000 naira. "My son," she said, eyes misty. "This night I go sleep like baby way just chop breast milk. Take this one buy something for your mama." Other clients followed her lead. Auntie Felicia, the retired principal with the chronic neck pain, started at 10,000, then moved to 20,000 after her migraines vanished. "Chaik, you save me from hospital every month. This one na for your church offering." Auntie Stella, the former trader, was practical. After one session that loosened her hips so much she danced a little in the lounge afterward, she handed him 25,000. "Buy better oil import from abroad. The one you use today smell like heaven." Uncle Emeka, the golfer, was gruff but generous. "Boy, you make me swing club without pain again. Take this 30,000 go drink beer with your friends." Even new clients, referred by word of mouth, tipped well from the first visit, impressed by the personalized care. Auntie Patricia, 64, with frozen shoulder, gave 15,000 after her first session. "I no fit raise my hand before. Now I fit plait my hair myself. God bless you." The tips came in different forms. Cash was king. Crisp notes in envelopes, sometimes with handwritten notes. "For your hard work, God replenish you." Buy data to learn more. Some brought gifts. A pack of new polo shirts, so you go look fine always. Imported sheer butter or body creams. Use am for your hand. Make e soft. Bags of rice or gari during festive seasons. For your house. One client, a retired judge, gave him a wristwatch. Time now money. Manage him well. Chaik accepted everything with deep gratitude. He never asked, never hinted, but the clients gave freely because the relief was priceless. Because good sleep, after years of pain-interrupted nights, felt like a miracle. Madame Bose noticed the envelopes. She never took a cut, tips not your own, but she smiled knowingly. These aunties love you well. Keep them happy. The money piled up. In his first full year, tips alone exceeded 2 million naira. Salary increases brought his total earnings to over 4 million annually by age 20. He banked it wisely, opened a proper savings account at GT Bank, bought a small plot of land in Abejaleki through a reliable agent recommended by a client, sent substantial amounts home. His mother called one day in tears. Chaik, we done finished the new house. Zinc roof, cement floor, 3 rooms. Your sisters get bed now, no more mat on floor. Ojeki started a better secondary school. Adana registered for nursing training. Chinello bought sewing machine to start tailoring apprenticeship. He visited the village once, took a bus home with bags of provisions, clothes, and cash gifts for neighbors. The village marveled. Chaikwede rubbed body for Lagos. See what God do. He remained humble, knelt to greet elders, helped on the farm during his short stay, gave offering in church that made the priest announce his name. Back in Lagos, the gratitude continued. Clients shared testimonies in the lounge. One day, Ani Grace, 68, with severe sciatica, arrived in a wheelchair pushed by her daughter. After 3 sessions with Chaik, she walked out unaided. The lounge erupted in applause. She pressed 50,000 into his hand, tears streaming. My son, you give me back my legs. God go give you everything you want. Another client, Uncle Chakwudi, a retired banker with insomnia from prostate issues, slept 12 hours after one session. He gave Chaik an envelope with 100,000. For your wedding one day. Good man deserve good wife. Chaik saved it all. No flashy spending. No clubbing or womanizing, despite temptations from friends. He bought books on advanced massage therapy, enrolled in an online course on physiotherapy basics, upgraded his phone for better research, rented a bigger room with fan and small fridge. The tips weren't just money. They were gratitude made real. For pain eased. For mobility restored. 4 nights of deep, uninterrupted sleep. The kind that heals both body and soul. In a country where getting older means dealing with constant aches, where hospital bills pile up and medications only numb the pain, Chaik's hands offered something that medicine sometimes can't: genuine relief. And his clients showed their appreciation in the only way that really mattered in Lagos. Generously, abundantly, with open hearts and open envelopes. Chaik's star was on the rise, not fueled by jealousy or gossip, but by real gratitude. From people who had found, in his young, dedicated hands, the gift of healing and the priceless treasure of good sleep. Every night, he counted his blessings and gave thanks, because those tips weren't just boosting his bank account. They were changing his family's future, one grateful client at a time. The dream takes shape. By early 2028, Chaik Okafor was 22 years old, and the weight of his savings felt both exciting and heavy. Like carrying a full jerrycan of water up a steep hill, knowing one wrong step could spill everything. Over 3 years at Blissful Touch Spa, his earnings had skyrocketed beyond what the village boy from Omuoma could have ever imagined. Salary bumps from Madame Bose, going from 50,000 to 80,000, then 120,000, and finally hitting 200,000 naira a month, combined with a flood of tips from grateful clients, had built up a solid nest egg. He kept careful records in a little notebook, every tip logged by date and client, just initials for privacy. Every expense tracked: transport, food, data bundles for research videos, remittances home. By January 2028, after paying for his mom's new house completion, block walls, zinc roof, borehole, his sister's school fees and apprenticeships, and his own modest living costs, the balance in his GT Bank savings account was 18 million naira. Add in the fixed deposits and the small plot in Abejaleki he bought the year before, and his net worth crossed 20 million. For a young man who once sold pure water in Lagos traffic, that was wealth. But Chaik didn't see it as the end. He saw it as a beginning. The dream had been forming slowly, like a plan sketched in pencil first, then inked bolder with each passing month. His own spa. Not just any spa, a real wellness center where people could find true healing, not just quick rubs. A place with multiple rooms, trained staff who cared like he did, modern equipment, imported oils, and most importantly, affordable options for everyday folks, not just the elite. He started planning quietly. Nights in his small Surelier room, now with a proper bed, fridge, and small TV. He spread papers on the floor, rough sketches of layouts, reception here, for treatment rooms, a cozy waiting area with a tea station, lists of equipment, massage tables from reliable suppliers on AliExpress, hot stone heaters, essential oil diffusers, cost estimates, rent in Lekki Phase 1, renovations, signage. He researched locations, drove around on weekends on his second-hand Honda scooter, jotting down to let signs on commercial properties. He settled on Lekki Phase 1, close enough to Victoria Island for his existing clients, but with growing residential areas full of middle-class families who might need affordable wellness. He found the perfect spot, a ground-floor space in a new plaza off Admiralty Way, 400 square meters, high ceilings, large windows for natural light, parking right out front. Rent was steep, 12 million naira per year up front, but negotiable. He visited interior designers recommended by a client, got quotes for partitioning, tiling, air conditioning. He studied business basics online, how to register with CAC, open a business account, hire staff, market on Instagram. He even took a short course at a training center in Ikeja, spa management and customer service, all while still working full-time at Blissful Touch. Madame Bose noticed his distraction. One evening in February 2028, after closing, she called him into the office. "Chike, wouldn't day happen? You day quiet these days. Your mind far." He hesitated, then decided to be honest. "Madam, I want to open my own place. Small spa. I don't save small money. I want try." She leaned back, eyes narrowing, not in anger, but in assessment. So my golden boy want fly." He knelt quickly. "No be say I no grateful, ma. You train me. You increase my salary plenty times. You treat me like a son. But I want build something my own. And I go still send clients to you. Younger ones, or people way no fit reach Lekki." She studied him for a long moment, then sighed. "I know say this day go come. You too good to stay apprentice forever. But he pain me small o." She paused. "How much you don't save?" He told her the truth. 18 million liquid, plus assets. Her eyes widened. "Chai, all these aunties don't dash you well." She laughed, then grew serious. "Okay, I no go vex, but make you do 'em well. I go even help small, give you some old equipment free, and tell some clients say you day start your own. But no steal my best aunties o." Chike laughed in relief. "Thank you, ma. God bless you forever." He formally resigned in March. 2 weeks' notice, trained a new apprentice as a handover. Madame Bose threw a small staff party, rice and chicken, soft drinks. Even the jealous colleagues showed up, grudgingly wishing him well. Tun clapped him on the back. "Sharp boy, you don win." The launch of Chike's Healing Hand Spa was modest but meaningful. He signed the lease in April, 10 million naira upfront for 1 year, with an option to renew. Renovations took 2 months, partitioning into 5 treatment rooms, 1 large VIP, reception with comfy seating, and a tea/herbal station, small office, staff changing area. He designed it himself with help from a contractor client. Calm colors, soft greens and creams, large windows with sheer curtains for light, plants in corners, soothing water feature at the entrance. Signage, elegant blue and white. Chike's Healing Hands Wellness Center, with a simple logo of open hands. He imported equipment carefully. 6 professional massage tables, hot/cold stone sets, high-quality oils, jojoba, grapeseed, essential blends, towels in bulk. Registered the business. Hired 3 staff, 2 female therapists, trained at a reputable school, and 1 male apprentice from his village area, bright, eager, just like he once was. Opening day, June 1st, 2028. Auntie Ngozi arrived first, at 8 a.m., even before the official opening at 10. With her driver carrying a massive basket, fruits, drinks, a framed Bible verse. "The Lord is my strength and my shield." Psalm 28 verse 7. She hugged Chike tightly. "My son, see what in God don do. This place fine past that small spa way you start." She booked the first slot, and every Thursday and Sunday after that. Her friends followed. Auntie Felicia, Auntie Stella, Auntie Grace. all showed up during opening week, bringing gifts, wall clocks, flower vases, envelopes with seed money. Uncle Emeka brought a generator. Lagos Nipa no day smile. By the end of the first month, the spa was fully booked. Old clients migrated en masse. New ones came from Instagram ads Chike ran carefully, targeting Lekki residents with messages about pain relief, deep relaxation, better sleep. The dream had taken shape. Solid, real, beautiful. Chike stood in the reception one quiet evening after closing, looking at the clean lines, the soft lighting, the grateful notes pinned on a wall of thanks bored clients had started. He whispered a prayer. Thank you, God. From village to this. His mother called that night. Chike, people day talk say you get big spa now. True. Yes, Mama. Come see, and when you ready. She cried happy tears. The dream wasn't just his anymore. It belonged to every client who walked in with pain and walked out with relief, to every tip that had built it, to every night of research, to the loyal clients who believed in him first. Chike's healing hands was open, and Lagos was already knocking. The rising star had built his own sky, and it was shining brighter than ever. Loyal followers. The opening of Chike's Healing Hands Wellness Center in June 2028 was meant to be a modest affair, a soft launch with a small banner outside, free herbal tea for the first week, and discounted introductory rates to attract walk-ins. Chike had printed simple flyers and posted them in nearby estates, run a few targeted Instagram ads, and sent polite WhatsApp messages to his regular clients from Blissful Touch, letting them know about the new location. He expected a slow start, maybe 10 to 15 bookings a day in the first month, building gradually as word spread. But Lagos had other plans. The loyal followers descended like a loving, determined army. Ani Ngozi arrived first, on opening day, at 8:30 a.m., a full 90 minutes before official hours. Her driver carried in a massive gift basket overflowing with fruits, bottles of malt, and wine, a large framed photo of a Bible verse. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds, Psalm 147 verse 3, and an envelope that Chike later discovered contained 200,000 naira for your first month housekeeping. She hugged him tightly in the empty reception, her perfume enveloping him like a warm cloud. My son, see this beautiful place. Find past that small room for 6. God don't shame your enemies. Chike laughed, eyes shining. Auntie, now you be my first customer. You don't come before I even open door. She waved dismissively. Book me for 10 a.m. and every Thursday and Sunday after. No change. She was the very first client through the door when the spa officially opened at 10 a.m. Lying on the brand new table in the VIP room, the largest one, with a window overlooking a small garden, sighing deeply as Chike began his familiar routine. By noon, the reception was buzzing. Auntie Felicia arrived with her daughter, bearing a potted plant, for good luck and fresh air, and booked a slot for the next day. Auntie Stella came with 2 friends from her textile days, all in matching Osso oak, laughing loudly as they admired the decor. Chike, this place days smell like abroad. Book us for next week, 3 slots back to back. Uncle Emeka showed up unannounced with a brand new 5 kVA generator on the back of his pickup truck. Lagos light no day smile, he grumbled. This one go carry your AC and everything. No let Nipa spoil your business. Auntie Grace, who had once arrived in a wheelchair, walked in unaided, carrying a large wall clock. For your reception, time now money, but healing no day rush. By the end of the first week, every slot was filled, not with new walk-ins, with the old loyal followers. They migrated en masse. Dozens of them. The same faces that had filled Madame Bose's lounge now filled Chike's. Only now in a bigger, brighter space with more comfortable seating. A proper tea station offering ginger, lemongrass, zobo, and green tea, and soft high-life instrumentals playing in the background. They brought gifts. Envelopes thick with cash, seed for your new beginning. Baskets of fruits, biscuits, drinks. Framed motivational quotes. Plants and flowers. Even kitchen supplies for the staff break room. Microwave, electric kettle, plates. They treated the spa like their second home. Settling into the waiting area chairs, greeting each other like old friends at a club meeting. Sharing testimonies. Ngozi, how your knee today? Better oh? Since Chike start that new stretch, I fit climb stairs without pain. Felicia, you see my neck? I fit turn him full now, no catch again. Stella, I sleep 9 hours last night. No wake up once. The conversations always circled back to the same miracle. Sleep. Deep, pain-free, restorative sleep. The kind that made mornings brighter. That gave energy for grandchildren, golf, church activities, market runs. That made life feel worth living again. Chike overheard them often, and it humbled him. He trained his new staff carefully, 2 female therapists, Ada and Bose, and the young male apprentice, Emika from a nearby village. Always ask questions, he told them daily. Listen to the body. Adjust. Make them feel cared for. But everyone still wanted the master. If Chike was fully booked, some waited, just like at the old spa. Others booked weeks in advance. New clients trickled in too, from Instagram ads, from Google searches for best massage Lekki, from recommendations by the loyal ones to their drivers, house helps, younger relatives. But the core remained the originals. Auntie Ngozi held court in the waiting area, proudly introducing Chike to anyone new. This boy now my discovery. God use him heal me. Try him, you know go regret. By the end of the first month, revenue exceeded projections by 300%. Chike hired a receptionist, bright young woman named Joy, and a cleaner. Added more rooms, converted storage into 2 extra treatment spaces. Introduced packages, monthly subscriptions for regulars at discounted rates. The loyal followers loved it. Chike, you too get sense, Auntie Ngozi declared one day, handing him another envelope. This one now for your staff Christmas bonus early. They followed him not for novelty, not for the fancy new building, but for the results. The relief from pains that age and life had etched into their bodies. The deep, healing sleep that followed. In a city of millions chasing youth and vitality, these loyal followers, mostly in their 60s and 70s, had found something better. Peace. In strong, caring, dedicated hands. Chike's healing hands wasn't just a business. It had become a sanctuary, built on loyalty, sustained by gratitude, and growing because of the unbreakable bond between healer and healed. The followers weren't just clients. They were family, and they weren't going anywhere. Chike's dream had taken root. Deep, strong, unshakable. And Lagos, busy, chaotic, unforgiving Lagos, was embracing it with open arms, building an empire. The success of Chike's Healing Hands Wellness Center in Lekki Phase 1 was not a flash in the pan. By the end of 2028, just 6 months after opening, the spa was not only profitable, it was thriving beyond Chike's most optimistic projections. Daily bookings averaged 40 to 50 clients, with weekends fully packed from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. The original 5 treatment rooms were no longer enough. Chike converted part of the upstairs storage into 3 additional rooms, bringing the total to 8. He installed a small gym corner for basic stretching classes and a consultation area where he could discuss personalized wellness plans with clients. Revenue poured in. Monthly earnings crossed 15 million naira by early 2029. Salaries for his growing staff of 10, 5 therapists, 2 receptionists, 2 cleaners, 1 accountant, rent, utilities, oil imports, and marketing all covered with plenty left over. Profits were reinvested immediately. Better air conditioning, soundproofing between rooms, a dedicated hot stone, and cupping therapy suite. Even a small cafe corner serving healthy smoothies and herbal teas for waiting clients. But Chike's vision was bigger than one location. He saw the demand, not just in Lekki's affluent estates, but across Nigeria's major cities where stress, age, and long hours took their toll on bodies. Abuja, government workers, diplomats, politicians with back pain from endless meetings. Port Harcourt, oil workers with muscle strain from rigs and desks. Even Lagos mainland, where middle-class families needed affordable relief. The first expansion came in 2030. Abuja, a client, Uncle Chukwudi, the retired banker who had become a regular, connected him to a property developer friend with a prime spot in Maitama. Chike flew up twice to inspect. A standalone building near the Hilton, perfect visibility, ample parking. He opened the second branch in June 2030, Chike's Healing Hands Abuja. Same aesthetic, calm greens and creams, water features, personalized care. He sent his best therapist, Ada, to manage it, with Emika, his village apprentice, now fully trained, as lead male therapist. Opening day mirrored Lekki. Auntie Ngozi and several loyal followers flew up for the launch, turning it into a mini event with ribbon cutting and prayers. Abuja's elite embraced it quickly. civil servants, ambassadors' wives, even a few ministers' aides seeking discreet relief from stress headaches. Bookings filled within weeks. Then Port Harcourt in 2032. An oil company executive client recommended a location in GRA Phase 2. Chaik partnered with a silent investor, one of his grateful uncles who had made money in real estate, for 30% stake, keeping majority control. The third branch opened to similar fanfare. Port Harcourt's oil workers, rough, strong men with chronic back and shoulder issues, became unexpected regulars, alongside executives' wives and retirees. By age 27 in 2033, Chaik had 3 thriving branches, employing over 40 staff, all trained personally in his methods. Ask questions, listen, research, adjust, care. He standardized everything. Staff training manuals he wrote himself. Weekly video calls for quality checks. Monthly refresher workshops where he demonstrated new techniques learned from international online courses. He had certified in sports massage and prenatal by then. He introduced loyalty programs, discounts for regulars, free sessions after 10 paid, corporate packages for companies wanting employee wellness days, even mobile services, therapists visiting homes for veteran and elderly. The empire grew steadily. Not flashy, not overnight, but solid. Like the muscles he worked on, layer by layer, stronger with time. He gave back generously. Free monthly clinics in Ajagunal and Suralere slums, treating market women, Okada riders, anyone with pain who couldn't afford regular rates. Scholarships for 10 village children yearly, full secondary school fees, uniforms, books. He built a borehole and small clinic in Umuoma, renovated the village primary school. His mother moved to a fine bungalow in Onitsha, running her provision shop with pride. His sisters, all trained now, one nurse, one teacher, one accountant, worked good jobs. He married in 2031, quietly, to Amara, a soft-spoken nurse he met at church, a girl from a neighboring village who understood hard work and faith. Traditional wedding in Umuoma, white wedding in Lagos. Auntie Ngozi and the loyal followers turned out in force. Aso-Abi uniform, dancing, spraying money. 2 children followed, a boy in 2032, a girl in 2034. Chaik balanced it all. Early mornings with family, days managing the business, visiting branches, training staff, seeing VIP clients himself. Evenings researching new techniques, lymphatic drainage, myofascial release, even sound therapy with Tibetan bowls. Nights praying gratitude. The empire wasn't built on hype, or scandal, or shortcuts. It was built on results, on pain relieved, on bodies healed, on the countless nights of deep, restorative sleep his clients finally enjoyed, on loyalty returned tenfold. By 2035, at age 29, Chaik's healing hands had 5 branches: Lekki, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Ikeja, mainland Lagos, and a new one in Enugu, close to his roots. Annual revenue crossed 500 million naira. He was invited to speak at wellness conferences, featured in magazines, from village boy to wellness king. But he remained the same Chaik. Humble, handsome, dedicated. Clients old and new still called him our healer. Auntie Ngozi, now in her late 70s, frail but fierce, still came weekly to the Lekki branch, driven by her grandson now, still tipping generously, still declaring after each session, "This boy na my greatest discovery." The empire stood strong, not because of marketing gimmicks, but because of trust, built one grateful client at a time, one pain relieved, one good night's sleep granted. Chaik had built more than a business. He had built a legacy of healing hands in a nation where bodies ached from labor and life. His empire offered relief, and Nigeria embraced it wholeheartedly. The rising star had become a constellation, guiding many through pain into peace, and the light showed no sign of dimming. A life transformed. By the mid-2030s, Chaik Okafor's life bore little resemblance to the barefoot village boy who had arrived in Lagos with nothing but a Ghana-must-go bag and unyielding hope. At 29, he was a husband, father, employer, philanthropist, and quiet celebrity in Nigeria's wellness circles. The transformation wasn't marked by private jets or mansions in Banana Island. Chaik remained grounded, deliberately so, but by the steady, profound changes that success, built on integrity and care, had brought to every corner of his world. His family life was the heart of it all. In 2031, at 25, Chaik married Amaran Wosu, the soft-spoken nurse he had met at a Redeemed Christian Church of God Young Adults Fellowship in Surulere. Amara was from a neighboring village in Anambra, her father a retired teacher, her mother a caterer. She understood village struggles, fetching water, cooking on firewood, stretching every naira. When Chaik first told her about his massage work, she didn't laugh or judge. "If your hands heal people," she said simply, "then God is using you." Their courtship was old-fashioned. No extravagance. Dates were walks along Lekki Beach at sunset, shared plates of suya, long talks about faith and family. He took her to meet his mother in the new Onitsha bungalow. Nneka approved instantly. This one get quiet spirit. The traditional wedding in Umuoma was vibrant but modest. 500 guests under canopies, high-life band, goat meat pepper soup flowing. Auntie Ngozi and the loyal followers arrived in convoys, spraying money generously during the couple's dance. The white wedding in Lagos was intimate. 200 guests at a garden venue in Ikeja, Amara radiant in a simple lace gown sewn by a client's daughter. Their first child, Emmanuel, named after Chaik's late father, arrived in 2032, a sturdy boy with his father's smile and his mother's gentle eyes. A daughter, Adiz, followed in 2034, bright, curious, already bossing her older brother at age 3. They lived in a comfortable 4-bedroom house in Lekki Phase 2, not ostentatious, but secure with a small garden where Chaik planted mango trees like the ones from his village childhood. Evenings were family time. Amara cooking egusi or onugbu soup, Chaik helping the children with homework, reading Bible stories before bed, praying together as a family. Amara worked part-time at a private clinic, but mostly managed home and supported the business, handling client relations for female customers, organizing staff welfare. Chaik was a hands-on father. He bathed the children, changed diapers in the early years, took them to school when his schedule allowed. On weekends, he carried them on his shoulders to the spa, daddy's work, showing them the treatment rooms, empty, of course, and explaining gently, "Daddy helps people feel better when their body pains them." The children grew up knowing gratitude, knowing hard work, knowing faith. The business empire provided abundantly. 5 branches by 2035, Lekki flagship, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Ikeja, mainland for affordability, Enugu, opened in 2034 near his roots, with lower rates for locals. Annual revenue approached 800 million naira. Chaik diversified wisely. Launched his own line of therapeutic oils, Healing Hands Blend, imported bases mixed with Nigerian essentials like sheer butter and morina. Offered certified training courses for aspiring therapists. Hundreds graduated, many now working across Nigeria. Partnered with hospitals for post-surgery rehab massage programs. Even exported oils to Ghana and South Africa. But wealth didn't change him. He drove a modest Toyota Prado, reliable, not flashy. Wore simple native attire or polos. Ate mama put rice when he craved it. Visited Ajigunle regularly for free community clinics. The transformation extended to his village. Umuoma was no longer the forgotten place of leaky roofs and dusty paths. Chaik tarred the main road from the expressway. Built a modern primary school with computers and library. Sank 3 boreholes. Constructed a small health center staffed by a nurse and monthly visiting doctor, all funded by the SPA's charity arm. His mother, Nneka, now in her late 60s, lived comfortably in Onitsha but visited the village often, overseeing projects like a proud matriarch. His sisters thrived. Adana, a senior nurse in Abuja, Chinelo, a school principal, Ojeki, an accountant working for Chaik's business. Village youth looked to him as example. Chaik no do Yahoo. No do politics. He used handwork. He sponsored 20 scholarships yearly, bright secondary students from poor homes. Many now in universities studying medicine, engineering, nursing. Auntie Ngozi, now 78, Freilier, using a walker, remained his most devoted client. Her driver brought her weekly to Lekki. Sessions were shorter now, gentler, but the ritual unchanged. She still tipped generously, now often 100,000 naira envelopes for the children's school fees. Still declared, "This boy keep me alive." Other original loyals remained. Some had passed. Auntie Grace in 2033, peacefully in her sleep. Her daughter said, thanks to Chaik's massages. But their children and grandchildren continued coming. The transformation reached Chaik himself. The once skinny village boy was now strong, confident, articulate. He spoke at wellness conferences, sharing humbly, "I started with nothing but willing hands and a phone for YouTube. If I can build this, anyone can, with hard work and care." Magazines profiled him, the healer from the village. TV interviews on channels and a rise. But fame didn't swell his head. He turned down reality show offers, declined political overtures. "I no day for that kind life." He mentored young therapists personally, visited orphanages monthly with his family, teaching children basic stretches so your body goes strong. Prayed daily, morning devotions with Amara and the children. Thanked God for every milestone. One quiet evening in 2035, after closing the Lekki branch, Chaik stood alone in the reception. The space was empty, lights dimmed, soft music off. He looked around, at the wall of thank you notes now covering 2 full panels, photos of staff and clients, awards from wellness associations. He touched one note from Ani Ngozi, framed prominently. "To Chaik, my son, my healer. You gave me back my sleep, my joy, my years. God bless you forever." Tears came, not of sorrow, of overwhelming gratitude. From loading trucks in Apapa dust to this, a life transformed. Not just his mother's, his sisters, his villages, his clients. Thousands now, across cities, finding relief in branches bearing his name. His children's, growing in comfort, education, faith. And his own, peaceful, purposeful, full. He whispered into the quiet room, "Thank you, God. From village boy to this. All now you're doing." Outside, Lagos hummed, traffic, generators, life pulsing. Inside, Chaik's heart was still. Content. The transformation was complete. Not perfect, challenges came. Staff turnover, rising costs, occasional bad reviews. But rooted deep. In healing hands. In grateful hearts. In a life built on service. Chaik Okafor, the village boy, had arrived. Not at the top, but at home. In a life richly, beautifully transformed. And the best, he knew, was still ahead. With family. With purpose. With God. The healer had been healed too. By grace. By gratitude. By love. And the journey continued. The lasting legacy. By the year 2040, Chaik Okafor was 34 years old, and the name, Chaik's Healing Hands, had become synonymous with wellness across Nigeria. What began as a single modest spa in Lekki Phase 1 had grown into a national institution with 12 branches. From Lagos, for locations covering island, mainland, and outskirts, to Abuja, to Port Harcourt, Enugu, Kano, Ibadan, Benin City, and even Calabar. Annual revenue had crossed the billion-naira mark, employing over 200 staff, therapists, receptionists, managers, trainers, and support teams, all trained in Chaik's signature philosophy. Listen deeply, research relentlessly, adjust personally, heal compassionately. The brand had expanded thoughtfully. A line of therapeutic products, Healing Hands Essentials, included massage oils blended with Nigerian ingredients like morina, sheer butter, and Uziza for anti-inflammatory effects, balms for joint pain, herbal teas for relaxation and sleep. Sold in pharmacies, supermarkets, and online, they reached homes far beyond the spas. Corporate wellness programs partnered with banks, oil companies, and tech firms. On-site massage days, stress management workshops, ergonomic training. An academy in Lekki trained hundreds of therapists yearly, with scholarships for youths from rural areas. Graduates opened their own small centers across the country, spreading Chaik's methods. International recognition came quietly. Features in BBC Africa, Al Jazeera documentaries on African entrepreneurship, invitations to wellness summits in Dubai and Johannesburg. Chaik accepted some, speaking humbly about healing through touch and care, but declined most overseas offers. "My work not here," he'd say. "Nigeria need him more." Yet the heart of the legacy remained the people. The clients, especially the originals. Auntie Ngozi, now 82, frail but sharp, still came weekly to the Lekki flagship, chauffeured by her great-grandson. Sessions were gentle now, 30 minutes, seated mostly, light strokes on hands and neck. She dozed often on the table, waking refreshed. "Chaik," she'd say, voice thinner but warm. "You keep this old woman alive. My doctor say my blood pressure better pass many young people. Now your hand." She had become the unofficial matriarch, cutting ribbons at new branch openings, advising on client care, even mediating staff disputes with her no-nonsense wisdom. Other early loyals endured. Auntie Felicia, 77, taught free literacy classes for spa staff children. Auntie Stella, 79, supplied textiles for staff uniforms at cost. Uncle Emeka, 80, referred corporate clients from his golf network. Some had passed peacefully. Auntie Grace in her sleep at 75. Auntie Patricia at 78 after a session. She say thank you before closing eye, her daughter told Chike. Their families continued the tradition, daughters, nieces, grandchildren booking regularly. New generations discovered the spas. Young professionals with tech neck from laptops. Athletes recovering from injuries. Pregnant women for prenatal relief. Even children with growing pains. Gentle sessions approved by pediatricians. The common thread remained. Relief leading to deep, restorative sleep. Clients still shared testimonies. In waiting areas that now resembled comfortable living rooms. Bookshelves with wellness reads, fresh flowers, soft lighting. On the ever-growing wall of thanks, boards in every branch. Notes pinned yearly. Thank you for giving me back my sleep after years of insomnia. My arthritis no longer rules my life. I can play with my grandchildren again without pain. Everyone deserves this kind of healing. Chike's personal life anchored the legacy. His children, Emmanuel, 8, and Adiz, 6, grew up in the business's gentle shadow. They called the spas Daddy's Healing House. Helped plant herbs in the small gardens. Learned basic stretches from staff. Amara expanded her role, overseeing women's wellness programs, prenatal and postnatal massage training. The family remained rooted in faith. Sunday services together. Family devotions. Annual Thanksgiving in Umuoma. Feeding the village. Free medical checks combined with massages. Chike gave back relentlessly. The Chike Okafor Foundation, registered in 2035, funded rural health centers, elderly care homes with massage programs, youth vocational training in wellness therapies. He built a secondary school in Umuoma, modern blocks, science labs, scholarships for all village children, renovated roads, installed solar streetlights. His mother, Neka, now 70, lived part-time in the village overseeing projects, part-time in Lagos with the family. She often said at village meetings, "My son no forget where he come from. He use him hand bless everybody." The legacy touched lives far beyond money. Former staff opened their own centers in Ghana, Kenya, even the UK, carrying Chike's methods. Graduates from his academy became head therapists in hotels across Africa. Young men from villages, once hopeless like he was, found purpose in healing touch. Chike himself remained unchanged. Still handsome, taller, broader from years of work, salt and pepper at the temples. Still polite, greeting every client personally when possible. Still researching, late nights studying new modalities, oncology massage for cancer patients, geriatric care techniques. Still humble, driving the same Prado, eating roadside boli when craving it, kneeling to greet elders. In 2040, at a National Wellness Award ceremony where he received Entrepreneur of the Decade, he spoke briefly. "I no get big grammar. I just get two hands, God bless. And people way believe in me, Auntie Ngozi first. Them teach me say, when you heal one person body, you heal their life small. And good sleep. Everybody deserve am. Thank you." The audience, hundreds of professionals, clients, staff, rose in standing ovation. Auntie Ngozi, seated front row in wheelchair, clapped weakest but proudest. The lasting legacy wasn't the branches, or the billions, or the awards. It was the lives touched, the pains eased, the sleep restored, the hope given to village youths that hard, honest work could build empires. To aging bodies that relief was possible. To families like his own, that transformation was real. In a Nigeria often harsh and hurried, Chike's healing hands stood as quiet proof. That one dedicated heart, one pair of willing hands, could create ripples that became waves. Waves of healing, of gratitude, of lasting good. And as Chike looked to the future, more branches planned in Jos and Kaduna, online training for remote areas, research into Nigerian herbs for wellness. He knew the legacy wasn't his alone. It belonged to every client who trusted him, every staff who carried the vision, every life made better by touch and care. The village boy's story had become Nigeria's story, of rising, of healing, of hope, and it endured, strong, gentle, Unstoppable. Because in the end, everyone deserves good sleep. And Chike's hands had given it to thousands. The lasting legacy, not in stone, but in restored bodies, grateful hearts, and peaceful nights. Forever. Thanks for watching. Kindly like, share with friends, and subscribe for more amazing stories.